Yes, guys, everything bite-sized here, back with another mental health video. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're dealing with OCD, aka Obsessive Compulsive Disorder. The OP says, Redditors with OCD, what is OCD actually like? And the top comment says, constantly rechecking things you know you did, but your fears and anxiety make you doubt your... Oh man, I just literally did what the OP said. I doubted myself and went to re-record the video. I suppose that it's apt that I keep this in now. Anyway, I'll start again. I'll stop being so anxious. Redditors with OCD, what is OCD actually like? Constantly rechecking things you know you did, but for your... okay, let's get it. Constantly rechecking things you know you did, but your fears and anxiety make you doubt yourself. So you redo the small things, parentheses for me anyways, over and over because you think something bad will happen. Yeah, I always have to check the oven is off, even though I know it's off. And this is me speaking. I always have to make sure my door's locked, even though I know it's locked. And I have to keep trying, so I think I've got OCD, and I keep wanting to restart this video, but I'm just going to keep it in because it's kind of like it fits the theme. So let me start again. I'm really sorry, guys. So Redditors with OCD, what is OCD actually like? Constantly rechecking things you know you did, but your fears and anxiety make you doubt yourself. So you redo the small things, parentheses for me anyways, over and over because you think something bad will happen. Example: locks car and makes it beep. 2. I'm messing up. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm not like this in my other videos. 1. Locks car and makes it beep. 2. Walk 20 feet. 3. Anxiety. You didn't lock your car. 4. Make your car beep again while locking it. Gets into house/work. 5. Anxiety. You didn't lock your car. Go check. 6. Brain. Yes, I did. I think I did. 7. Anxiety. Wait, do you remember doing it? 8. Brain. It beeped. 9. Anxiety. Maybe it didn't. Maybe you should check. Maybe you thought you did it. Okay, what if you didn't? Someone will break in. Crap, I bet you didn't. You should be going to check. You think you did it? No, I don't think you did. You need to make sure. It's better to make sure, or someone else will break in or steal it or ruin the interior. You didn't lock it. Rinse, wash and repeat. Oh man, I can relate to that so much. I think a lot of people can as well, because humans are naturally ritualistic and religious, believe it or not, and superstitious. But like OCD takes it to the extreme. And it gets worse than what this guy's talking about. I'm on this guy's sort of level, but it can get a lot worse. But someone replied, you literally summarised my life. I'm constantly doing this myself. It's a never-ending mind F word. Another person says, one trick I use is when I say close the garage, I also make it a point to make a mental note about something I know I'll trust myself about. So when closing my garage, I will glance at the yard and note the odd clump of leaves in the middle. That way, when I'm trying to remember if I've closed the garage, I remember the leaves and know that I did indeed close the garage. Oh, that sounds like a good tactic. Anyway, moving on. You get burdened by a disturbing thought or feeling, and the only coping mechanism is a tic or ritual. The thought is intrusive and disruptive, but so is the compulsive reaction. It's so uncomfortable and consuming. I would relate it to being trapped in a room with unwanted obsessions and constantly failing at picking up the lock. Not only is it a heightened form of anxiety, but it also generates unnecessary stress and can physically harm you. Yeah, so me speaking now. When you're in a state of fight or flight and anxiety, your body releases a cocktail of stress hormones and chemicals in the brain. So and these chemicals and hormones are catabolic, so they make you eat away muscle and gain fat, but it's generally bad for you. And obviously your heart rate going like all the time isn't good either, and your blood pressure. But anyway, carrying on. A strong urge to do something or have something done a certain way, or else quote unquote bad things will happen, or I will feel uncomfortable. Say I spend 5 minutes washing my hands, which is an excessive amount of time in and of itself, then go to leave, but suddenly I remember that my hands don't feel clean, so I have to retry a bunch of times until the tick in my head goes away. One of the worst was when I was working on an assignment with a little bit of rubber was loose at the bottom of my TV remote. I spent 25 to 30 minutes stressed and drenched in sweat, peeling every micron of rubber off the bottom of the remote because I legitimately could not put it down without my stress getting worse and probably causing a severe anxiety attack. Wow, that's deep, man. Over a little bit of rubber on the remote, that is mental. You feel trapped. It's even worse because you know that it's irrational, but feels just as important as tying your shoes before you leave the house. That's an interesting way to put it. Okay, there's one really big comment here, and I'll end it on this. Let me just have a vape quickly. I know I'm unprofessional. Right. This is the last comment for the video. It's usually not that bad. It comes and goes in waves, and I'll have good months and bad months, but when it's bad, it's bad. I had a religious obsessive/compulsion for a while, parentheses, a common symptom with religious people with OCD called scrupulosity, an obsession with getting forgiven by God and always feeling like you can't be forgiven. Oh man, I get that. I'm a Christian. I'm constantly, well, as a Christian, everyone sins every day. It's unavoidable, and oh no, that's so, oh, that hits home, that does. Let me start again. It's usually not that bad, but it comes and goes in waves, and I'll have good months and bad months, but when it's bad, it's bad. I had a religious obsession compulsion for a while, parentheses, a common symptom with religious people with OCD called scrupulosity, an obsession with getting forgiven by God and always feeling like you can't be forgiven. For over a year I would pray constantly, and I mean literally constantly, like literally every second of the day. Oh man, I used to do that. I used to constantly be running my thoughts by God, knowing that he's listening, and anyway, carrying on. While talking to people, the whole time they were talking, I was reciting and repeating short prayers for forgiveness in my head. And when it was my turn to talk, I'd pause long enough just to talk, and every pause between sentences, I'd start another prayer in my head. I didn't have it that serious. It was just I knew God was watching and listening, and I was running it by him. But this guy's literally like praying, like every time, like constantly. Interesting. Anyway, and every pause between sentences, I'd start another prayer in my head, whether I had time to finish it or not. And when I'd be alone, I'd often literally pace in my room and pray over and over. I prayed almost constantly for over a year, only stopping while I was asleep. It was bad. The compulsion took away my ability to focus or listen competently, and the obsessive thought related to it took a real toll on my self-esteem, never feeling forgiven. Yeah, with my bipolar disorder, I get feelings of guilt and shame for no reason, like I haven't even done anything, and that's me talking, and I get really bad feelings of guilt and shame. It's a common symptom, and it's irrational at the time, because there's nothing you've done. You can't point to anything to feel guilty or shameful for, but you do, and you get these intrusive thoughts, and it's horrible. Anyway, carrying on with his comment. That's one example. My biggest example. I'd also have obsessive thoughts about practically anything else. Everything was a superstition. As far as compulsions go, besides the praying mentioned above, there was nose twitching, finger tapping in counts of 21 or 49, counted blinking, purposeful skipping steps or stepping twice with the same foot, typing and retyping the same words, a mental stutter, circling objects and blank spaces with my eyes. Others I might be forgetting at the moment. Lately, so I'm getting distracted because I'm relating to a lot of this. Lately I've been in some good months, but some compulsions are still present, and OCD can be partially treated, but it never goes away. So while I'm in a good period right now, I'm sure it will get bad again in a matter of time. I hide my compulsions well, so nobody actually knows unless I tell them, except for the nose twitching, which I thought for a long time nobody except me could see, until I got called out on it by a few different people. But besides that, no one can really tell, but I'm able to function completely. It's just a big exhausting annoyance. There's rarely any real rest from it, and you might think there's a kind of relief when you finish a ritual or compulsion, but there isn't. When you do finally get it perfect, you start again, so you're never actually stopping. So I live my life just like everyone else, but I'm tired. My eyes and fingers are at work all day, whether I want them or not, whether I want them to or not. I'm not even going to cut out the mistakes, guys. For me, it's not as bad as I'm making it sound, because I have a life that I'm able to live, and this doesn't always get in the way. But this is considered version. This is the condensed version. What's interesting is that a lot of people with OCD have it different than the next person. There's pure O, parentheses, obsessions without the compulsions. Germophobic OCD, where people wash their hands all the time, yeah. Some have cleanliness and order related obsessions, others don't. Some have counting compulsions, others don't. I'm sure a few readers with OCD will be able to relate to what I'm writing, and I'm sure others will read it and feel like it's not the same as theirs at all. But that's just because it's a pretty diverse disorder. Wow, that was deep. I'm sorry for all the mistakes, but anyway, you've been locked into Everything Bite Size. Check out my music videos, check out my shorts, check out my other content like this, and I'll catch you in the next one.